A plan to parachute a high-profile candidate into the coalition ranks ahead of the federal election has set off a firestorm in the Liberal Party in New South Wales. Local branch members had already pre-selected Grant Schultz for the seat of Gilmore, but a plan backed by Scott Morrison has seen him dumped in favour of former Labor President Warren Mundine. Political reporter Matthew Doran reports.
History tells us spruiking for votes among the good folk of Queensland,
they live in a warm and fine climate,
is always a priority for the modern leader. And so the Prime Minister and opposition leader continue their road trip through the state. But Scott Morrison is about to parachute in a new candidate for a Liberal seat further south.
I think Warren Mundine's a top bloke.
Warren Mundine is a former Labor national president who quit the party in 2012, saying changes in policy meant it was no longer the organisation he'd once joined. Recently courted by the Liberal Democrats as a successor for controversial Senator David Leyonhjelm, the Indigenous leader is now being touted for the marginal New South Wales seat of Gilmore, despite not being a party member.
Oh well, he was unsuccessful in the Labor Party, so, you know, it's a free country.
It's infuriated a candidate local Liberals had already backed, learning today he'd been dumped by the party's state executive.
The Prime Minister has stated that he believes in a fair go. He has not given me that.
His father was once the Liberal MP for a neighbouring seat. Mr Schultz will now run as an independent.
I can no longer be a member of a party that does not support democracy or act with integrity.
Positioning of personnel ahead of the election is also a concern for the Liberals' coalition partners. Deputy Nationals leader Bridget McKenzie confirming she won't contest the currently independent seat of Indi in Victoria, scrapping a bid to swap the Senate for the lower house.
Obviously, I'm still moving my office to Wodonga. I'm moving there personally.
Unresolved pre-selections this close to a federal election have and will continue to cause headaches, with tension over current MPs taking too long to consider their future and late polling contributing to extraordinary interventions. The captain's call on Mr Mundine by
the member for Cook. There you go.
has been revealed as he commits almost $7 million for the replica of Captain Cook's ship to go even further than the original and circumnavigate the country next year for the 250th anniversary of his arrival.
I think it is so important for the reconciliation journey of this country.
Hoping for fair winds during the election, Bill Shorten's pledging $1 billion in support for new energy production.
To be at the front of the hydrogen revolution.
Mustering enough power for the months of campaigning ahead. Matthew Doran, ABC News, Canberra.